Hey, yo, cheeks and chicas. Okay, so in 1998, I suffered a work-related accident, and I fell and busted my head on the top of a pole something like this, but it was a lot thicker. And what ended up happening is I ended up losing my job, losing my home, losing my fiancée, losing my health, and ended up sleeping out in the street. It happened at a hotel, so therefore there was a lawsuit involved, of course. What had happened is I was doing a show at a hotel, and the banquet waiters left water all over the floor, and I ended up falling in the water sideways and busting my head on a cart. So while everybody in the insurance industry was haggling out who was going to pay the bills, I healed injured. Living in the street, I had gone to about 300 doctor's appointments, and it took that to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. In the meantime, my fiancée moved to Norfolk, Virginia. So I had to settle out of court for pennies because I was basically homeless and I had no place to go. So I settled out of court, put about $7,000 down on a condominium, curled up into a fetal position, and that's where I stayed for the next year and a half while my back was killing me and I was dealing with blank spots and headaches and everything else. Eventually I tried to use my credit to consolidate my debt. I wasn't paying that much. I was paying about $450 a month. It was a two-bedroom. Exactly, that's what it was. It was a two-bedroom, one office, laundry room, kitchen, and one bathroom with a balcony condo in Germantown, Maryland, that my mortgagor sold to another company, and they immediately put it in default even though I was paid $400 in advance, and I paid 4 months in advance, and didn't owe them anything. But they put it in default and said that I was in default of my mortgage payments, and they went through collections and the whole deal, which ruined my credit, which ruined my debt consolidation, which prevented me from doing the things that I needed to do in order to prevent myself from going into the poorhouse. So what ended up eventually happening is that I ended up becoming homeless again. And I bought this SUV eventually, and this is where I've been pretty much living for God knows how long. I've spent about 6 or 7 winters in this thing. It's summer right now, and I'd like to show you around. Okay? Now, this is the bedroom, pretty much. This is where I sleep. It's kind of hard to see, but this is like all my clothes and stuff all piled up against the wall. Drinking bottles. That's a shirt. That's the back window. And there you have Mother Nature. I park with the windows close to bushes and stuff like that so that people can't creep up to the side of the car and climb in and do something hairy, scary, or crazy to me while I'm in here. Also, I have mosquito netting in the window so that the bugs don't get in. Right now I'm on a rest stop, and I have like black canvas all over the windows. Like this is black canvas on the driver's side window. There's black canvas on the passenger side window, and my name is Maelstrom, nicknamed the Desolate One, because since 1981 I've been homeless for all but about maybe like 11 years maybe. So I've been like living like this with this big black hole in the middle of my head. Even though people laud me for being intelligent and creative and smart and this and that and the other, this is how I've been living, man. I've been sleeping in the back of an SUV on space-age phone. I've got jobs. I mean, I work because I have to pay for insurance for this vehicle, and I have to eat and do my clothes and wash and stuff like that. This is how I shave. I get me a dollar razor from the dollar store and a bag of dollar razors, and I shave and keep up appearances, you know what I mean? Right now it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting ready to go to breakfast at Roy Rogers, and I've got like a storage facility that I pay for that has the remnants of my belongings in them, because when I moved out of my place, I hired this moving company to move my stuff. And if you go to www.zspaces.homestead.com, it tells the story of what I went through with my moving company. Because right after I lost my condo got stolen, my moving company comes in and does what's known as a bait and switch, and holding a person's belongings hostage. And what they did was they quoted me one price over the phone, and once they got my stuff and drove off with it, they called me on the phone demanding twice the price. I haggled with them and argued and stuff like that, and ended up having to pay. Stored my stuff with them for 5 years, paid over $25,000 in a very motley way, and they ended up making off with my stuff. Little did I know that the husband and wife partnership business team had a nasty divorce, a nasty custody battle, and they basically took my stuff and had a yard sale because they didn't pay for their storage facility for over a year. They didn't pay the mortgage on the house for over a year, and eventually got evicted by the U.S. Marshals. But by the time the Marshals got there, they had taken off. They didn't let me know that they were being evicted. They said they had sold the business, and they were still charging me rent even though they had been evicted, and knew they were being evicted, and knew that they no longer had a business. They were still charging me rent. Then the woman calls me and tells me that my billing was wrong from the beginning of the year, and this is like October, I want to say. And I just woke up, so it's kind of hard, man, to figure out exactly what the deal is right now. I've got it all written down so that I can remember. But she calls me up and tells me the same thing she always does. She threatens to auction off my stuff, and if I don't pay her. And she didn't even have my stuff. She had like maybe, I don't know, I want to say 25% of it. 15 to 17% of it was broken up and unusable. And most of it was paperwork. I mean, I got stuff that you wouldn't believe that's just gone forever. Over 300 pieces of my original artwork. I've got like action figures and collectibles and stuff. I mean, it's a whole slew of stuff. I mean, they just came in and robbed me and my whole household. And the guy is now out there still working, doing interstate moving, and he's probably stealing other people's stuff too. And he has a Department of Transportation safety number for his truck that has a fraudulent address used to obtain it. I told the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration about him. They did absolutely nothing. I wrote to the Lithicum State Police and Movers Carrier Control Board. They did absolutely nothing because they said the FMCSA won't do anything about it, so they're not going to do anything about it. So I'm going to be doing updates on this and downloading it on YouTube just to record my life, I guess. Everybody keeps telling me I should write a book, and I've written a book. It's at www.no Nourf. It's a funny way to spell earth. .homestead.com. If you go there, you can see my book and my memoirs, my notes, stuff. You know, my mood swings, how I feel. Some days are good days, some days are bad days. I'm upset, I'm feeling terrible, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling bad, you know. It's very vulnerable insight into my life. But this is how I live, man. I live in the back of a 1996 Chevrolet Blazer. The engine died over the winter. I was living in the worst blizzard snowstorm to hit the Washington, D.C. area in history, recorded history. Burned my engine out trying to get out of a driving space, and thank God my boss was there. He basically lent me $2,700 to get a new engine. So I drive around from place to place trying to find a place to lay my head, go to sleep, and live with a little bit of dignity. So I'll be in touch. Talk to you guys later.